Okay guys, well, I'm going to have a go at a cell swap video as promised. I said as soon as I could get somebody to hold the camera for me I would, but unfortunately I can't get anybody to hold the camera for me, so it's going to be a wibbly wobbly job. As you can see, we're looking at the back end of a Sankyo Lumina frame. All I've done is swung the machine out of the frame so that you can see it properly. And the first thing that you need to do, you can see my hand there, just come in, there's a catch there and a catch there at the top. We're just going to zoom in slightly on the catch. He says moving the webcam because that's unfortunately all I've got to do it with. And you can see the catches just look a little bit like that. They show a little bit of red on the back of them when they're locked, and they show no red when they're open. You can see the two bolts, and when it's slid open the one bolt is uncovered. The final catch, if we move down the side of the frame here, that's the power supply you can see, and down a little bit further the final catch is just down here next to the power supply, and you knock that one up. Just going to put the camera back so that you can see what's going on. There we go. And if you look just round the edge of the green part, that's all the payout mech and the power supply for the board, for the machine on there. And we're going to swing that all the way out of the way in a second. Nice part about the Lumina frame is anything you need to pull, any plugs you need to pull out to do a cell swap are all fluorescent pink. It's quite nice for the ladies out there that are going to do this, but it also sticks out for the gents as well. If we look at the first one, they're in different places on different Lumina frames. This one's the Chur Island frame, and you can just see the first one is in there. If we pull that one out a little bit like that, you can see he's fluorescent pink. There's another one just on the below the CR dongle that you pull out like that, and then there's two on the main board, one there we can just pull out, and one just under the main hopper on this one that we pull out like that. Once they're disconnected, make sure they're free. Don't pull too hard when you open the payout mech out, because if you pull too hard you're going to damage the plugs. They have got a tendency of getting caught up slightly as you do it. All we're going to do is swing the whole payout mech just gently out like that, which reveals the back of the cell. Once you can get at the back of the cell, you can see the big white clip on this side. There's one there that you tilt out like that. There's another one which is just below it, which you tilt out again like that. And on the other side it's hidden by the payout mech, so we'll zoom in. You can just see the other one, and you have to put your fingers in the opposite side of the cell to it and unhook it from there. It really is that simple. Just lean in and unhook the other one. And finally, on the very bottom of the cell, just trying to get out of the light of the camera, here we go, delving down. You can't see it too well, but I promise it's there, just above the ball payout, and on the very bottom of the cell you'll see it. There's another clip, like the ones in RB's pictures, of a H-lock, and you just tilt the H-lock down, and then the whole cell is ready, as you can see, very carefully to pick out and move out of position like that, leaving you with just the very doorway of the frame. And then to put it back is completely the reverse of what you've just done. You have to manhandle it slightly to put the cell back in. Be very careful when you're doing it, but it is quite heavy as it's in your arms. Once you've got the cell back into position, on the left hand side of the cell, once again tighten down the first two clips, the top one and the bottom one. You can just there slides in. They're spring loaded, so they're not hard to do. Then the same on the opposite side, you have to reach around the payout mech again and just slide those two shut. The H-lock at the bottom of the cell that we spoke about, unfortunately you couldn't see it because I can't get a very good light on this camera, it is a web camera. And then holding the wires clear, just close the payout mech over the top of the cell, making sure that your pink connectors that you pulled out are all clear. That slides back into place. The important part here is once you've got it back into place, make sure that it does sit down properly and you haven't caught any wires. Click the two locks at the top shut, the lock at the side shut, and then it's down to your pink connectors again. Where you pulled them out from, you just lean in, click them into place. There's no need to worry about the connectors, they will only go into the board one way round, and they're all different shapes so that you can only put the connector into its own house. It really is that simple to change a cell on a Sankyo Lumina frame. There's so many cells out there for that frame, there's no point in wasting time and space trying to fit up cabinets for other machines when you can have one machine in a cabinet and just swap cells, almost as easy as swapping cartridges on a Nintendo 64 or something like. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope it wasn't too twisted, and hope my explanation helps you out a little bit. Cheers.